Again, the news this hour with jury in the Daniel Penny manslaughter trial potentially getting the case as soon as today.
Well, it comes after the conclusion of closing arguments. Robert Moses in Lower Manhattan. Prosecutors are going to have their hand at trying to convince the jury today, right?
That's right, Rosanna and Kurt. Good morning to you. So was Daniel Penny a heroic protector or a criminal vigilante? That's essentially the question that these 12 jurors have to answer, and we do expect them to get the case later on today.
Guilty! Guilty! Guilty!
Prosecutors this morning will continue making closing arguments to the jury, considering the fate of 26-year-old Marine veteran Daniel Penny, who is charged with manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide in the death of Jordan Neely. Penny has pleaded not guilty. The prosecution is expected to finish its arguments today. Once jurors receive instructions, they'll begin deliberating. An assistant district attorney told jurors yesterday, "You obviously cannot kill someone because they are crazy and ranting and looking menacing, no matter what it is that they are saying." Before she addressed the jury, the defense did. The police weren't there when the people on that train needed help. Danny was, Penny's attorney said. Neely had boarded an Uptown F train on May 1st of last year and started menacing passengers. The defense says Penny acted heroically by stepping in and subduing Neely, who was homeless. Penny placed him in a chokehold for about 6 minutes. The medical examiner ruled Neely died from compression of the neck. Penny's attorneys say other factors, including his sickle cell trait, schizophrenia, and synthetic marijuana use, contributed to Neely's death. His uncle listened to the defense's closing arguments.
It's horrible. Like it's just to see what's going on in there is sickening to my stomach. I hate for my nephew to be the circus.
This case has garnered such attention because of how race, mental health, and homelessness collided underground on camera. As was the case when he arrived at the courthouse yesterday, protesters yelled at Penny as he departed.
As we look ahead to the jury receiving this case, a couple things to keep in mind. First of all, if the jury decides to convict, they cannot convict on both charges. So it would either have to be manslaughter or criminally negligent homicide, or maybe neither. And the top charge in this case, that being manslaughter, carries a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison. However, in this case, there is no minimum prison sentence. So in theory, Penny may not spend any time in prison, even if he's convicted on one of those two charges. And we're live at criminal court this morning. Kurt, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Robert.
Okay, so I played that video to give everyone who might not be familiar with the situation a little backstory on the situation that happened between Daniel Penny and Jordan Neely. Jordan Neely was a homeless black man who suffered from schizophrenia. He was actually a ward of his family, who basically received financial compensation for, his care. Obviously, when you have family members who have suffered from mental illness, schizophrenia, usually they are left to the care of their family. And because these people aren't able to operate normally, function normally in society, they are allowed to remain, on the street or in the general population under the care of their family. Apparently, Jordan Neely was, he was a person who was living on the street. He was a person who was using marijuana. Some people speculate that he was using other drugs. And for one reason or another, Jordan Neely was on the subway, right? What up, Mark? Jordan Neely was on the subway, and he had made a habit of getting on the subway, threatening people, screaming in people's faces, people limited, including but not limited to women, very young children, and different people who were riding on the train. Now, most of us who live in major cities, we've experienced this in one way or another. We may not have been directly confronted with homeless people or people who suffer from mental illness, yelling at us, approaching us, confronting us, and basically playing out, different psychotic episodes in our presence, whether or not they're directly or indirectly impacting us or directing their anger, frustration, what the symptoms of their psychosis at us. We have seen a lot of these people in action, right? Put a 1 in the comments if you've ever seen a homeless person, someone, an unhoused person in public going through a psychotic episode. I mean, I know when I raise my hand, I am not the only person who's seen this, witnessed this. I worked for several years down on Skid Row, placing homeless people in shelters. This was almost like a day-to-day occurrence. We've all experienced this. When you deal with this, honestly, it's a very volatile situation. And because a lot of these people are using drugs, a lot of these people are suffering from mental illness. You don't know what these people are going to do, right? You don't know if these people are going to act out. Now, I can't try the case for Daniel Penny, but what I could tell you is a lot of people are going to do what we do best. People try to oversimplify situations that they don't understand, and that's okay. But there's something to be said about people who try to oversimplify situations where if they were in the same situation, they either don't know how they would have responded or reacted to Jordan, or they would have reacted even worse. And I almost left a comment today on a post that was posted by King Randall X, the brother who owns the school down in Athens, Georgia, the school where he helps young Black boys transition from juvenile detention into mainstream society. Brother Randall X, he was talking about people being provoked actually by the police and how people respond. But the comment that I was going to make under that post, but I didn't, I'll say what I was going to say here. As an African American, one of the things I understand about my own people, and you could put a 1 in the comments if you agree with this. If you don't agree, put a 2, make your voice heard. We expect everybody else to be perfect. We expect everybody else to get it right every single time. But when it comes time for us to get it right, when it comes time for us to be perfect, we want all the grace and all the goodness and all the understanding in the world when we don't. I mean, I've seen African American people, I've seen grown ass African American men, 6 feet, running from a damn dog that's 10 pounds, a 10, 12-pound damn poodle running, jumping up on the table. Oh, bro, I don't like dogs. I've seen this with my own eyes. I've seen Black folks damn near crash their car because a bee flew in the window. Am I wrong? If you like me, I didn't see grown ass Black folks damn near break their back because a Chinese beetle, harmless creature, flew close to them. I'm talking about jumping over fences. I'm talking about swatting and twisting and gyrating. I'm talking running, screaming at the top of their lungs because a damn bug got close to their face, a harmless beetle. Let's keep it a buck, right? So we can act like that. I'm talking about, I've heard stories of black people killing folks over stepping over on their shoe. And I've seen people after that happen say, oh, well, you don't understand where he came from and how he grew up. But I just don't understand why when we make a mistake, when we don't get it right, or when we feel threatened, all things are lawful, all things are permissible. But when someone else of another group feels threatened, or they feel afraid, or they feel like they have to defend themselves, all of a sudden that person is a racist, they're a coward, they're this, they're that, and the other. You do not know what you would have done in that situation. As a matter of fact, a lot of us, you know what? I know what many of us would have done. We would have done nothing. Just like we do nothing as the gangbangers and the degenerates take over our communities, shooting people, deleting people, hurting people, making it to where you can't even walk outside, walk around your block at night or in the daytime. You know what we do best? Nothing at all. So when another group of people stand up and defend their community, stand up and defend the people who they, move around on a day-to-day basis with, we want to criminalize those people. We want to say, yo, this person's a racist. This person, listen, you will never know the motive that Daniel Penny had when he went up there and grabbed Jordan Neely. But what you will know is that there were people on the train who were African American who described Daniel Penny as a hero. So you who were not on the train, you whose wife, family, whatever was not on the train, you who 3,000, 4,000, 14,000 miles away from the situation, you can pass judgment on that situation, right? Because it doesn't affect you. So they got to live with that. If Jordan Neely would have pulled out, a knife and deleted somebody, guess what? Too bad. Sucks for them. But this guy was wrong to do anything about it. You don't know what you would have done. And the reality is, no one knows what Jordan Neely would have done. And the other reality is that when Daniel Petty stepped in, the people in that situation with him said, yo, this dude was a hero. Lionel Williams, Brandon, you're wrong. He coulda, woulda, shoulda. Bro, what are you talking about? He coulda did this. He coulda did that. But you weren't in that situation. Let's go to let me go to a case. I want y'all to tell me what this lady could have done. There's a woman named Christina Yuna Lee. I want y'all to tell me what she could have done. Christina Yuna Lee was an Asian woman. This woman was stabbed 40 times by a homeless person. A homeless man, for no particular reason, stabbed this woman 40 A homeless man stabbed this woman 40 times. Okay? He woulda, shoulda, coulda. This was in New York. This is what's going on in New York, where the situation with Jordan Neely took place. This is what these people are hearing about. This is what these people are dealing with in that city as the subway becomes less and less safe. You guys do remember that the National Guard was placed in the subway systems of New York because the violence and the crime has gotten out of hand. But y'all gonna sit up, he shoulda and he coulda and he woulda. I'm not doing that. And if you're a grown man, dog, and you sitting up there doing that, shame on you. Shame on you. New York. Homeless man is charged with following a woman into her Lower East Side apartment and killing her. Stabbed her more than 40 times, according to prosecutors. Christina Yuna Lee, 35, was followed up to her 6th floor apartment at 111 Christie Street At about 4:30 a.m., police responded to a 911 call about screaming. They found Asamad Nash, 25, barricaded inside the apartment. Nash was found hiding under the bed with a yellow-handled knife hidden behind a dresser. He was taken into custody and was evaluated at Bellevue Hospital. He had stab wounds to his torso and cut his hand and shoulders, according to prosecutors. The motive for the attack remained unclear. Prosecutors charged Nash with murder, burglary, and SEXUALLY motivated burglary. On Tuesday, a rally was held outside Lee's building by Korean American Association of Greater New York, calling for the end to senseless violence against the Asian community. This woman was innocent. This woman didn't do anything, but she got followed by a transient person, and this person stabbed her 40 times till she was dead. Why do I bring this story up? Listen, as a person who worked with homeless people, these people many times are on drugs. These people many times are suffering from mental illness. These people are very unpredictable. You could say whatever you want. You could say whatever you would have did and he could have did. Okay. Oh, he could have restrained him this way. Okay. And what if he would have said, hey, bro, stop? And the dude would have turned around and stabbed him. And then he was dead. Or what if he would have pulled out a knife and stabbed one of the small children he was screaming in their face on the subway? What if that was your kid? And that's what I really have a hard time wrestling with in our community. There's just this lack of desire to put yourself in other people's shoes. We sit up and we talk about what should have happened and what would have happened. I want to know what you would have did if that was your family. I want to know what you would have did if that was you on that train. Oh, you know what we would have did? Nothing, because that's what we do. Guys, the link is in the comments. If you want to come up here and say your side, feel free to hop in. Listen, what would you have done? I'm not holding anything against Daniel Penny, because Daniel Penny did what he thought was right at the time. And this man stood trial with a jury of his peers, and a portion of them thought that he was guilty of manslaughter, and another portion of them thought that he was innocent. The jury was so deadlocked that yesterday the judge just dismissed the case, at least the manslaughter charge. So now it's going to be up to whether they're going to try him or convict him of negligent homicide, which you wouldn't even do any time in jail, or whether they're not going to convict him of anything. Listen, you are not from New York. You're not in New York. You're not going through what these people in New York are going through. That is why you are tried by a jury of your peers, because they are experiencing what you're experiencing. So they have a better understanding of, the situations that you guys are collectively dealing with. We can't even sit in the courtroom and try and judge Daniel Penny, because we are not living in New York and none of us understand the nuances of the situation that exists on the New York subway like New Yorkers do. You could hate me. You could say I'm never watching this channel again, but there's this certain lack of maturity that comes from our people a lot of times when we are judging situations, because when it's someone else, this is the rules. Rules for thee, not for me. If this was me, I would have did this, but because this guy is white, he can't do that. He got to stay on the train and just say, you know what? I'm just going to gamble as to whether this dude's going to pull out a shank and kill me. Because he's white, he can't see a situation and say, you know what? I'm not tolerating this. And I promise you, as I watch people leave this live stream, YouTube, of course, X is doing good. I watch people leave this live stream. Bro, our people just don't get it. We still don't understand. We still don't understand that everybody has a perspective on things. We still don't understand that. You can't tell somebody that they have to sit back and let their life be jeopardized or gamble with their safety because you don't want them touching somebody that you don't even give a hell about. If you care so much about Jordan Neely, why aren't you down in New York helping the homeless? That's my question. Why aren't you down over there trying to say, why are all of our people out here on the streets? You could do that. We give 0 hours to help the homeless situation in America, but we will get on the internet to police everyone else's interaction with these homeless, many times drug addicted, many times mentally ill people. Come on now. Come on now. Go ahead, Jughead, my brother.
Good morning, Brandon. Good morning, Michelle from the UK. Love and respect, guys.
Good evening. Good evening from the East Coast.
Good morning, guys. I can't say long. I'm right in the middle of a workout. I can't say long, Brandon, but
I saw you.
As a non-New Yorker and non-FBA, if I may, with your consent, offer my insight, please, as an outsider.
Okay, wait. Before you say this, let me give you a little back history. In 2015, Jordan Neely kidnapped a 7-year-old girl. In 2019, Jordan Neely punched a 64-year-old man in the face. In 2021, Jordan Neely slugged a 67-year-old woman in the face as she exited the subway, breaking her nose and fracturing her orbital bone. Jordan Neely was arrested 44 times, but never faced justice for terrorizing New Yorkers. The Manhattan DA basically never prosecuted this dude on any of the crimes that he committed. Now go ahead and tell me why this guy was wrong and a coward and blah, 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 blah.
Thank you, Brandon. If I may, thank you for your consent. Now, number one, I will never hate you, Brandon. You're entitled to your opinion. I'll never hate you for any reason. You're entitled to your opinion. It's your broadcast.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, now, no one said that Mr. Neely was a saint. Now, the facts you just read out are now facts. That's indisputable. The facts you read out. Now, tell me, Brandon, when Daniel Penny came out like a coward behind Mr. Neely, was he aware of those facts? No, he was not. So those facts are irrelevant at the time because at that day, Jordan Neely was not being threatened or violent. He was being disruptive, but he was telling you about his begging food.
He was being threatening. He was yelling. He was yelling in people's faces. These are witnesses who were there. He was yelling in women and children's faces, telling people he was going to kill them, just screaming in their faces, threatening them. He was doing that. That is a fact. Facts of the case.
Okay, was he physical? Did he damage property, or was he violent towards person? Was he damage property, or was he violent physically towards person? Doing that encounter.
The guy has a history of physical violence, and who knows what he was. Who knows what? Okay,
that's not what I asked you.
Okay, listen, that's not what you asked me. Was he being violent and threatening? Yes, he was. In American law, he was being violent and threatening.
So by being crass, cantankerous, that's considered violence, is it? It's the same as a physical strike.
In America, the police will kill you if you walk towards them. They say stop and get on the ground, and you continue to approach them. They will kill you in cold blood right in the street. And you know what they will say? I feared for my life. That is an understanding that every person in America has. So according to American law, where someone throw a cup of cold water on you, that is assault. We understand that if you approach somebody screaming, you're going to kill them, you're going to do this, that is violent, and that is considered aggression and assault.
Now, Brandon, back to my point. First of all, what other example you just gave? Now, a policeman might shoot someone they think is threatened towards them. That's not legal or lawful. They get away with it because it's a racist country. Now, outside
has nothing to do with racism. They do it to white people. I'll pull up a video right now. North Carolina, white guy walking up to the cops. Cops like, hey, don't move. Get on the ground. The guy keeps walking toward him. Bro, like they put like 80 bullets in this dude.
Oh, but Brandon, I can show you examples of black people do nothing, compliant being killed.
And I can show you examples of white people compliant and being killed.
Brandon, you keep interrupting. Brandon, you keep interrupting. I can't do my case.
I'm not interrupting. You made a clear statement. Listen, you said I could show you examples of black people complying and being killed. I came back with, and I could show you examples of white people complying and being killed. I could show you examples of Samoan people and Mexican people. That's what you guys don't understand. This is not just happening to black people.
Brad, don't say that. What happens? What does happen? What is indisputable? What happens disproportionately? It does. Actually, you can show me four examples of black women who have been killed unarmed, compliant than whites or Asians.
Do black people commit a disproportionate amount of the crime in America according to our population?
No, they do not. They charge more. No, they don't. They charge more. No, they don't. They don't. Right. You're charged more because most white crime. Like, give me an example, brother. Back to Mr. Penny, the depraved coward. Well, that coward, my brother, Drew Neely. You know that initially he was as I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he was interviewed at the police subway. They let free before it's not because of the uproar for the criminals that he was charged. At the point of contact, police interviewed him and let him go. Say
when Jordan Neely kidnapped the 7-year-old girl, when Jordan Neely fractured the 67-year-old woman's orbital bone, punched the old man, he was let go too. He was never charged.
Well, first of all, she should have been.
Is Jordan Neely a coward for the things he's done?
Yes, he is. They're both a coward. But one's a murderer. That's the difference. One's a murderer.
One's a murderer. One's a kidnapper. One attacks old people. Yes. So they're both cowards. So couldn't one reason that what goes around comes around, and maybe it was karma that got Jordan Neely in the end?
Maybe, but the best case, then karma will get Miss Penny as well. It goes both ways.
And you're sure, and I will never argue you on that.
Anyway, brother, after your fifth interjection, I'm back to Mr. Penny. Look. If we did, but Billy done jiu-jitsu. I've done some junior parts, not on your level, but I'm a striker. My back is boxing, but he can put him in half Nelson, and he knows that as a Marine, that putting him in chokehold for 1 5 minutes is dangerous. He knew that it was deliberate murder. No, he's not. Penny's not stupid. If he was on the chokehold more than 2 minutes, it's murder. Penny's not stupid. He may be a coward, but he knew what he was doing. So,
I'll give you an example. I'm a black belt at jiu-jitsu, right? When I was a brown belt, you could get on. I put the link in. When I was a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, I was training with my training partner, big 300-pound Hawaiian dude named Moku. This big buff dude, kind of looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like buff like that. And the guy was way bigger than me, but he was really good and he was a black belt. We were sparring, and I got him in a chokehold. Listen, I was holding that guy for like 30 seconds. He was struggling and moving around. All of a sudden, this guy just goes limp. My instructor was like, Brandon, let him go. I let the guy go. He's laying on the ground, limp, not moving. I thought I had killed the guy. Thank God he didn't die. They let him up and everything. You can grab someone, and at 1 minute, they could be struggling and moving, and you could feel like you're just holding them and restraining them in a chokehold, and the next minute, they'll go limp. Now, would I say that this guy, Daniel Penny, made the best decision? Because he's not an expert in jiu-jitsu or anything. I think he was training, but he's like a blue belt or a white belt. Do I think he made the right decision in that moment? I think he did what he thought was the safest for him to do to defend the other people on that train. Now, did he hold the guy too long and cause the guy to die? Probably.
Brandon,
but at the same time, Eric Garner was killed by the police, and black people were mad. The police came behind him for selling loose cigarettes, put him in a chokehold, and killed him. Black people were mad for 5 minutes. But when this guy, Jordan Neely, who really had a history and was really on the train threatening people, telling them he would kill them, and Daniel Penny does something, all of a sudden it's World War III. I mean, Jughead, I'm with you, but you can't see that this is selective and arbitrary and that this is just opportunity for black terrorist groups like BLM and all these other groups to rear their ugly head and start fleecing black people again for millions?
Brandon, I apologize for interrupting. I do apologize. Number one.
No, you didn't interrupt me. Go ahead.
Thank you. Number two, I don't support BLM are scum. So don't forget them. I despise them. As a Pan-Africanist and a patriarch, I despise them. Now, according to Daddy Battalion, I have to correct you, my brother. Eric Garner was not selling cigarettes at the time he was murdered by Danny Montano. What happened was, if you remember, Garner went correctly and in depth. There was altercation on that corner before the police arrived. Mr. Garner broke the fight up. He was a hero. Now, when the police came, the combatants had left. But when the cops that saw Garner was recognized from selling cigarettes before, he was not selling cigarettes, Brandon. That's slander on his name from the press. He broke up a fight. That's why the police were called. And the two combatants, when the police arrived, the two combatants had left. And one of the police officers that recognized Garner from before started harassing him. That's why he's upset. He was not selling cigarettes. That's not true, Brandon. I have to defend Mr. Garner. I have to defend my brother. Garner was not selling cigarettes at the time. He was not. Mr. Bertello murdered him because he was another scumbag.
Well, according to the person who owned the store, they had called the cops because Garner was selling loose cigarettes, right? Undercutting their business. That's what the report says. Whether or not it was Eric Garner's situation wrong, 100%. What did black people do about it? Nothing. I would say that we got more leverage on the Eric Garner situation than we do on the Jordan Neely situation, because the people on the train, many of whom were African American, were like, Daniel Penny is a hero. This guy was threatening people. I just continue to ask people, like, do you guys realize how unpredictable homeless people or transient people are? Do you guys realize that? Do you realize people get killed by homeless people all the time? Like, and it's like unexpected. Homeless guy just dude, I posted a video on here a long time ago. I took it down since then. I was riding, if you guys been here, if you've been on this channel riding for a while, I was riding my bike downtown Long Beach. I stopped on my bike. I think I stopped to like tie my shoe or something. A black dude, homeless, told me, "What the fuck you doing over here?" I said, I'm tying my shoe. Not that it's any of your business. This dude walked up on me with a knife and was like, "Yeah, I'll cut your ass." Thank goodness I had my gun on me at that time. And I flashed it and was like, "Yeah, go ahead." And he backed off. Dude, these people be on meth, PCP. They be on all types of stuff. I'm just telling you, I'm not taking that chance. Jordan Neely probably would have got his ass knocked out if that was me. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm putting him down. Now, I might not choke him out, or if I do, I'm experienced, so I know how to just drop you, put you out, and keep it moving. But listen, the guy should have never been on the street unattended. I don't put this on Daniel Penny. I don't put this on Jordan Neely. I put this on this guy's family. You know you got a family member out here messed up. You need to be taking care of him because you're getting money from the state, from the government to take care of this person. And let's go look up the records of his payouts and see if them checks was cashed and who cashed them. That's who I'm holding responsible for his death. Because when someone is scared and someone is threatening you, look, like Malcolm said, if somebody put their damn hands on you, send them to the cemetery. That don't just apply to black folks. And I'm going to say this. Don't even let them put their hands on you. In my discipline that I learned called jujitsu, when somebody steps into your red zone, that's when you act. And if Jordan Neely is in people's face, screaming in their face, "I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna do this," he been past. We're talking. You got to draw an imaginary line in the sand, and when they cross that line, you got to do what you got to do. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6, dude. And that's what I feel. Bro, was thinking like, dude, look, I don't know what this dude about to do. Does anyone remember? We come to you, Michelle. Thank you for being patient. Do y'all remember the black dude who went on the train and shot up the train in New York? Do y'all remember that? The dude who was claiming he was a student of Louis Farrakhan? Bro.
Yeah, that was over 20 years ago.
No, that was not. That was like 3 years ago. There was a guy who went on the train and he didn't hit nobody because he was a horrible shot, but he shot up the train talking about death to Whitey. Bro, they dealing with real shit in New York on them trains. Everybody can't be as buff as Jughead with the 50, 45 pounders. But, we trying to get there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, you can't tell nobody living in a cesspool, oh, man, you overreacted. Hell no. Situational awareness, you got to act, not react. You got to go for broke for your safety. And when you're on a subway train, you can't get off. You can't get off. You're trapped on the train with this idiot. And it's only 6-7 minutes between stops. And so the dude argued, Penny's lawyers argued, there's no way he was holding him because they first lied and said he held him for 20 minutes. Penny's lawyer said there's no way he held him for 20 minutes. It's only about 5 to 6 minutes between stops. So Penny very well might have been like, I'm going to hold this dude until we get to the next stop to where the cops can get on and arrest him. There's too many variables in this situation, or what is, but go ahead, Michelle.
Thank you. Hey, brother across the pond. The situation is very sad. I believe it has to do a lot with mental health in our community, especially as it relates to Black men. If I remember correctly, don't quote me, he was a child of the foster care system. He was taken away from his mother. So I question, if the mother is the ward of him, I question her dedication to making sure he'll be okay. A lot of things are questioned per all these arrests. Why wasn't some type of mental health intervention done to make sure maybe he's monitored if he enters and off the train? Maybe wasn't he put in a program? Because now I think the state of New York needs a lawsuit. And the gentleman that put him in a chokehold should sue the state for putting him in that position. Okay, because again, homeless people are very volatile people. I work with foster care people. I work with mental health people. I work with transient people before. They are very volatile. You never know. And I've been in a lot of close call situations. It was just, God's blessing. I avoided situations. Again,
if you would have did something, you're a coward. And it would have been on you, not the person who's over here.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. And exactly, people don't understand when you're working with, especially with volatile population, they can go snap on you at any time. Anytime. I had a colleague of mine, which was really, she lost her job because she was escorting a homeless person to the hospital. As she was waiting, the homeless person went off. He lunged towards her. She put her fist up to defend her. The nurse said something. It got back to the office. Next thing you know, she was fired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, we're working with volatile people. You don't know how you're going to respond or react. Again, she was put in a fight or flight situation. Unfortunately, instead of the nurse, I don't know. Again, I wasn't there trying to defend. Hey, she was protecting herself. She went and said something else, and she lost her job.
Of course.
Can I say something?
Yeah. Are you done, Michelle?
Oh, yes, I'm done with that point. I'm sorry.
Okay. Wait, real quick. I want to show y'all this. Bro, I'm not sitting up playing games with nobody. Homeless people is out here doing shit. That's why people are afraid, increasingly afraid. Because it's like, dude, I'm not trying. People are trying to make it home to their families. You don't even know if this guy could have had a gun. There's homeless people rolling around strapped, bro. People don't even know that. Because a lot of these homeless people are in gangs, ex-gang members. They're doing crime, robbing people and stuff. They'll roll around with a gun. Dude, you don't know what's going on. Before Bandit Anansi goes, and I got you, let me play this real quick. Oh, you're a coward too if you intervene in this situation.
Well, new tonight, for the very first time, we are hearing from that homeless man right there who violently attacked people on the 16th Street Mall. This viral video delivering a stinging black eye to Denver.
And it raised new concerns about safety out on the 16th Street Mall. Denver 7's Jennifer Kovaleski talked with Clarence Steele in a jailhouse interview. Jen, he had never seen the video of this attack.
Did you guys see this dude with that 2x4 run up and hit them people? That right there, we just got demonetized. Did y'all just see this dude roll up with that 2x4 and hit these people? Y'all didn't see that. Those people are all cowards.
Jennifer Kovaleski talked with Clarence Steele in a jailhouse interview. Jen, he had never seen the video of this attack.
Teresa and Shannon, we showed him this now infamous cell phone video for the first time. Seeley claims he was defending himself and was off his meds. He also says he came to Denver for the marijuana and tells me he wants to set the record straight. Do you regret what you did?
Yeah, I regret it. Why wouldn't I? I mean, I do have feelings, and I'm not no killer.
The man behind this violent. Teresa and Shannon, we showed him this.
Street Mall. Denver 7's Jennifer Kovaleski talked about safety out on the 16th Street Mall.
Dude, you know why black people really have a problem with this stuff? Because if there was black people right there, they would have just did nothing. They would have been scared, running. See, when you are a coward, you will demonize someone who does what they got to do in a situation like that, because deep down inside, you're like, I wouldn't have did it. I couldn't have seen myself do that. No, this is not a shot at you, Jughead, but I'm just saying in general, a lot of people, like, it's like the January 6th situation. The only reason black people hate on the people on January 6th is because we are too scared to do it. We probably should have been did what those people did on January 6th as far as this government, the way we get treated, but we're too cowardly because we think, oh, I got to save my own skin. Damn the rest of the black people in America, I got to make sure I'm straight. So we have a very selfish, narcissistic personality, like thought process in our community. So yeah, we will demonize and criminalize someone who does anything in the name of protecting the community. Because why? Because we wouldn't have done that. How dare he do that? Now it makes me look like I'm a coward, or I'm scared, or I don't care about my community. It's projection. Go ahead, Bandit.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
I kind of compare the Daniel Penny situation to another situation. You had it on, you streamed about it before. It was a situation where there was this other homeless black man. He had pulled out a gun and he went up to his baby mama's apartment. He tried to kill his two sons, his baby mama. She called the cops and they ended up killing him. And then the BLM and everybody came and marched and started doing the protesting and stuff. But the one thing that I think his family showed up too. So when they did the protests and stuff and were harassing her and everybody about it, she said, yo, my sons are half black. This dude was trying to kill me and my sons. And she said one thing that pretty much struck a chord with her family, where they were trying to attack her. She basically said, you guys wasn't worried about his mental instability and his stuff until he got shot.
Right. I remember that. She was standing outside her apartment.
And then that dude, that gelatinous, effeminate black male savage tried to go and try to attack her because she said something that was the truth.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was what made me mad. So when I look at the Daniel Penny situation and that his family is like boo-hooing and stuff, I'm like, where were you when his behind was where were you when he was going out and wilding out the way he was? And if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if they were home collecting his Social Security check while he's running around being a menace to society.
Oh, you know that's what they was most likely doing.
Exactly. And he was in a foster care system. So in addition, I know he's getting extra benefits from that. So there's a lot with this. There's a lot.
So like I look at that and it's really just this whole situation with Daniel Penny and stuff. It's an accountability situation. It's nothing to do with Daniel Penny. He did what he had to do. This is more of a black person's accountability situation.
Well, yeah, and this is the thing. We're going to demonize the situation because we don't want to be held accountable. If we acknowledge that Jordan Penny was someone who, a member of our community that we let exist on the fringes of society, and we don't do enough to go and lobby for mental health services in our community, if we don't want to acknowledge that, we have to demonize Daniel Penny. We have to make it like, no, this guy was a deranged white vigilante and he did some crazy stuff to this black dude.
Like,
No.
more than likely, Brandon, they're not upset that Daniel Penny, who was the guy's name?
Jordan Neely.
George Neely died. More than likely, they're upset because the Social Security check stopped rolling in after he died.
Well, of course, that was there was a little meal ticket for him. And the black community is not upset that Jordan Neely is dead because there's many. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon. The father is trying to sue Jordan Neely now. He has a pending lawsuit, per my understanding. I was like, why are you trying to sue him? Sue the state of New York.
Money grab. It's all about the money grab. You took money. Go ahead, brother.
Finish your point first. I'm asking Ms. Mishima if I may. Finish your point first. Then
okay, you took our little meal ticket, so now you got to pay us. I'm done with this. I watched a video last night of a damn prosecutor in New York talking about a dude who robbed somebody. He killed this man. It was an 82-year-old man in an ATM. You know, the ATMs where you walk inside. He follows the guy into that little ATM booth. He robs the man. And during the course of him robbing the man, he kills the old 82-year-old man, right? Do you know the prosecutor in New York said, well, at first I was going to prosecute him, but then I looked up, I learned more about his upbringing, and he had a rough upbringing and all this stuff. So I decided that I didn't want to prosecute him. So this guy goes in to rob an old 82-year-old man, murders the man, and the prosecutor doesn't prosecute him because he had a rough upbringing. This is what we're dealing with in New York.
They should put out a law where if someone's on Social Security and you're the representative payee and they commit a crime, it should affect you if you're the representative payee.
Somebody said right here, law of averages, Brandon. Neely had nearly 50 arrests that we know about, tried to push someone onto the tracks the night before, attempted to kidnap a 7-year-old girl, punched the elderly lady. Like, guys, this guy's karmic debt was like, he was underwater. It was only a matter of time before somebody smoked him. Go ahead, Jughead.
He ran out of karma, saying he ran out of karma credits. Is that what you're saying? He ran out of karma credits. Is that what you're saying?
Look, that's what it's looking like.
Look, Brandon, if I may ask my sister's point about why Alina Celia is suing Mr. What's his name? Mr.
Daniel Penny.
Penny, so New York State. Because that's New York State didn't strangle Mr. Neely. Daniel Penny did. And number two, no one's defending the exact bypass. No, Daniel Penny. I mean, Jordan Neely was a miscreant. He was a deviant. We know that now. That's no excuse. On that day, on that night, he was on subway. He was not physically damaging property or threat to anyone. He may have been disruptive, yes, but that's not a death sentence. If Mr. Penny was threatened, he should move away from the tram. When it got another carriage, that's what we do in London.
Well, here's the thing. So if that guy walks away and that guy goes off and kills somebody on that carriage, what is the psychological toll that's going to take on Daniel Penny, knowing he could have did something but didn't do anything? That's like somebody being in a burning house and you like, dang, I'm just walk by. People deal with this. I just watched a movie the other day about this guy. He was an air traffic controller. He didn't really mess up. He messed up on his job a little bit, but it was really the pilot's fault. But two planes collided in the air. This is based on true events. Two planes collided in the air, killed a bunch of people. This guy was just an air traffic controller, and he literally had like a nervous breakdown, started like just going crazy. His wife left him. Bro had to like move to another city, get another job, all this stuff. Like, I'm not telling anybody, and I think Daniel Penny had a military background too. I'm not telling anybody to not step in to do the right thing when somebody is being threatened, especially in a city like New York, where for all intents and purposes, the social safety net or the law enforcement system has totally abandoned the people of the city.
Brandon, sorry.
Over there, go ahead.
Example you gave on burn a building was incorrect. First, a burn a building is visibly dangerous. But well, with the point you made about if Daniel Penny left the carriage and Mr. Neely killed someone, that's conjecture. We don't know what he would have done. We don't know what we don't know what he would have done.
We don't want to know what he would have done.
Okay.
But based on his history, you know,
Yes.
something like me, one thing about me, I am a good judge of character, right? I could know you for a few minutes or a couple hours, and many times I'm able to read people and see if they're good people, they're shady, whatever. Some people can see something and know the assignment. Some people can see something and realize this is about to get crazy. We don't know what Daniel Penny's thought process was, but what we know is there was something about Daniel Penny's observation of Jordan Neely that day that understood that this guy had the potential to do violence because we know because now we know his history. But looking from the outside, Daniel Penny made the right call. He recognized the threat even without knowing the history.
So Brandon, Dan Penny is he psychic? So he knew beforehand that Mr. Neely was a victim, was a responsible for the person, or push someone on the track. Was he excellent?
He knew based on that guy's erratic behavior and the way the people on that subway were acting, he knew that there was a potential of a negative situation happening.
How did he not know? He didn't know.
I feel like overall,
let me do this really quick.
Real quick, Brandon.
Go ahead real quick. And after you say that, I'm gonna play a video of a person who was on the train who recorded the incident and their testimony in court about their testimony in court.
I feel like overall, like, didn't matter who would have stopped him, whether it be Daniel Penny or somebody else. I mean, he would have been dealt in one way or another. That's kind of like me saying that, hey, like Nazi Germany, for example, and you have some Jews that's like hiding from the Nazis. If I come out as a Jew or something like that and acting sporadic and guys are warning me and constantly telling me, hey, you need to come. It doesn't matter who's going to stop me. I'm going to be dealt in either way.
No, I agree. And you know, there's so many people who stood by and didn't do nothing all the time. And then they say, damn, I should have did something. Let me, I want to read this. T-Rex said, not good logic. The people on the train realized Neely was mentally ill, but they didn't know his criminal background. Yeah, but when you realize somebody's mentally ill and they're up in people's face talking about, I'm going to kill you and all this stuff, you realize that you don't know what the hell this person might do. That's what you realize. I would like to ask these people, even in the audience, if a person is screaming in people's face, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, going around the train, going around a small space, acting volatile. At what point do you intervene and say, hey, dude, you need to calm down. You grab this dude, put him up out, get him up out of there. At what point do you interact? Go ahead, Jughead.
You intervene when he's been violent or disruptive or damaging property.
Well, he's being disruptive.
Brandon, I said when he's being violent to someone or disruptive to a property, then you watch him or her, observe them. Until you touch them, you don't have to put your hands on someone until they're violent on someone else or being physically disruptive. You don't have to put your hands on someone. They're not your property. They're human being with considerations and rights. You can't put your hands on someone with no reason just because you think they're being violent. If they're violent or disruptive, then you intervene. But until then, you observe.
So when someone in America, I understand you from a different country. In America, when you screaming, you're going to kill somebody, all that stuff, that is grounds to get arrested in America. That's a grounds to be restrained in America. There's something in America called citizen's arrest, right? You can literally arrest another citizen if you're a citizen, if that person is doing something that is violent or disruptive. Under our law, I'm going to kill you is a terrorist threat. He recognized that. He recognized that threat. So when that guy
like that,
said, I'm going to kill you, that gave Daniel Penny the right to technically place him under citizen's arrest. And on top of that, if the guy resisted, that gave him the right to restrain him.
Brandon corrects, but initially, Brandon, you and Brandon are correct to a point. I'm not to argue with that point. You're correct. Mr. Neely was being disruptive. He's being a knave and a fool. But that's not a death sentence. Number one, even as threatened behavior, Mr. Penny should have asked him to calm down, observed him, and then watched him. Why can't I put him like a cow and put him in a chokehold? Why put him in half Nelson? Well, and then pin him down. Why put him in a chokehold? How long was it? 30 minutes?
Hey, Jughead, can I tell
Yes.
you a story real quick? There was
Go
a
ahead.
story one time I saw, it was on Abba and Peach. There was this guy, right? He got into an argument with this other guy. Well, this is how it happened. They were walking in a store or something like that. I'm not sure, but how it exactly happened. But what was really going on was there was a white guy in a van, and he was driving by this black guy in the store, in the parking lot, and he was arguing with him and stuff. Then he came back, rolled back around, and started cursing him out, calling him racial slurs, and threatening him. Then the black guy came back, grabbed him, pulled him out the van, and beat him up. He calls the cops later on, and the cops looked at the footage of what was going on, and they let the black guy go. You know why? It's because the other guy was trying to provoke him. He was being disruptive. He was being sporadic. Now, with this situation where the shoe was on the other foot, to me, it's the same thing. I feel like it was justified. You don't go in somebody's face threatening that you're going to kill somebody, especially when you're around women and children and acting violent that way, you know? So that's just kind of how that is.
My brother, thank you for your input. Thank you for your input. So I appreciate your input.
So that's just how. Yeah, that's just how it is over here. So. Well.
Yeah. Man, there's a video in Texas where this dude roll up in a store and he trying to rob this restaurant. Man, somebody pulled their gun out and lit fire to that dude. Was he wrong? Should he have just mind his business and stay silent? The guy wasn't pointing the gun at him, but you don't know what. That's my whole issue. You don't know what could happen in these situations. And honestly, I'm not trying to find out. If I got to get your ass right now, I'm going to get your ass, period. Because you might turn around from him and just randomly stab my ass. Go ahead.
Brandon, this is the issue what I don't like about the case. I don't like how it's turned into a racial situation now. That's my issue. Again, many people who live outside of America or who don't work with volatile people don't understand how life and death certain situations can, because you do not know. Literally, it's not about black and white. It's about life and death.
Man, I used to work with... Go ahead.
That's why I'm upset with the city of New York. You knew this young man was a child of the foster care system, was discharged from his foster care system with severe mental health disability, severe. The family that he was even taken away from, you have him under their care. Are you kidding me?
Man, listen, and it's ridiculous. And
it's more than just what happened. He had, again, you talked about the arrest. Why wasn't he banned from the subway system and put on some type of special mental home? I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said I'm absolutely terrified of the social system and the courts there. They are really messed up. I've been through it.
Yes,
before,
they are.
And they are really messed up. My mom, she worked with them. I had the unfortunate experience of dealing with them. They are, the best way I can explain it is, you better just make sure there's no crazy person sitting in that judge's seat. That's all I can say.
They're all a bunch of they're all a bunch of rats. And the thing about a rat is a rat will do anything to survive. A rat will know that they would have did a certain thing in a certain situation. They would have did the same thing you did, but they'll condemn you and destroy your life just to protect their position, right? I'm not going to make this ruling because I don't want everybody coming after me, especially in a place like New York. There's a lot of that. Look at the people who convicted Trump. A lot of those people just did it because they didn't want to have their lives ruined, because they knew if they would have came with a not guilty verdict, that it would have been publicized and their social life would have been destroyed. Go ahead, Jughead. Then we're going to play this video clip.
Thank you, Brandon. Brandon, let me just clarify why I'm so upset with what happened to Miss Neely. And most of you guys have not seen the bigger picture. So you guys, it's not about America or UK, Sister Misha. It's everywhere. We're being killed everywhere with impunity. Sister Misha, let me say something to you. Well, you don't love FBA, right? You love FBA. That's a fact. You're the best black on the planet. I love FBA. That's, because what you've been through is amazing. Let me say you guys are great danger. Let me tell you why. In America right now and the world, they set you up for genocide. Do you realize that? By allowing civilians to kill you with impunity, you realize what they're doing to you, Brandon, Michelle, Bandit. They set you up for a scenario where people can, not just the police, anyone can kill you with impunity and get away with it. That's why when Jules Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin, he was interviewed about seeing the crime, let him go. Even if he made to kill someone. They're trying to bring back to Jim Crow days where they can kill you with impunity. That's the danger you're in. So by defending Daniel Penny, you're setting yourselves up for genocide. Malcolm warned you back years ago, decades ago, about America commit genocide. You've forgotten that warning. Malcolm warned you. Don't forget what Malcolm's warning. Malcolm was correct. I'm warning you people, please don't forget Malcolm's warning. By defending Jules Zimmerman and Daniel Penny, they set you up for genocide. You don't see the bigger picture.
Well, what I see the bigger picture, and I see it holistically. Malcolm warned us, but then black people killed Malcolm, not white people. And that's what I understand totally. See, white people will use black people to come for you. And the way they use black people to come for you is they get black people who are hysterical, who are emotionally charged, who don't have control over their emotions.
They get the degenerates.
What you got to understand is the white man doesn't need to come for you. The white man can get a black person to kill you just by telling them that you're a Trump supporter. They tried to do that in many ways to black Trump supporters. Barack Obama tried to do that. He came, oh, how dare you not support Kamala? And that was his dog. Real quick? Just 1 second. That was his dog whistle to all the hysterical black folks who were willing to do crazy stuff to other black people who didn't support their political candidate. And so that's how it's going to come. You guys still think, oh, they're going to come around with Klan hoods on in trucks and paddy wagons to get you. They don't have to do that anymore. Excuse me. Black people turn on whoever these white folks tell them to turn on, whether that person is black, whatever. Look at the black Republicans. If you're a black Republican, you're lower than dog doodle in the black community. They will, dude, you can't even, they can get your own family members to disinvite you from family events, turn their back on you. They got wives divorcing their husband and stuff. And what's the common denominator? Hyper emotional Negroes. And this situation with Daniel Penny is an example of that. This is the hyper emotional demographic within the black community being pushed once again to jump out on Front Street, going crazy over this. And I'm going to tell you something. If you gave all these people a lie detector test and asked them, do you really care about Jordan Neely's death? They'll all come back. If they say yes, it'll all come back as a lie because they really don't care. This gives them publicity. This gives them the opportunity to be in front of news cameras again. They're trying to scrounge up the last little crumbs that's fallen from the table for the whole Black Lives BLM movement and the race hustling and fear mongering stuff. That's all this is. And next week, black people won't even be talking about this no more. Go ahead, Bandit Anansi.
To add to your point is it's one of the most common paper people they will use is the black criminal. And that's something that people don't understand because all you have to do is just have this one person and promise them that, hey, we'll reduce your sentence or we'll do something. We know how corrupted the FBI is and all these other places, and that's who they will use a lot of the time. And they'll look the other way, or they'll let this person just run rampant. And just say and don't say nothing or don't do nothing.
Look at Nipsey Hussle. Look at all these people who, the white man gonna come for him. It's a black dude come for him. So maybe the white man send him, but I ain't worried about the white man. I'm looking at these black dudes who don't got control over their emotion. The
and that's why it's important for black people to take accountability for the things we do, because you don't know who's being sent or who's pretty much being sent as a Trojan horse to your community.
I'll give you a prime example before we play this video. The other night I was watching the movie Juice, the one with Tupac and all them dudes in it. And I realized something when I was watching that movie that I never really realized before, because I've never watched the entire movie of Juice. I watched little parts of it when I was a very young kid, but I remember my grandma or something. It used to come on HBO all the time. And my grandma was like, you better start watching that. It's rated R. So I didn't get to finish it. So I watched it on Amazon Prime Video. And let me tell you something. What was Raheem and all them dudes stealing, all them dudes doing? They were basically being little miscreants in the community. They robbed that liquor store. They was doing little petty crime, scamming folks, all that stuff. Who was the other criminal element. The Puerto Rican dude, Radamez, his little crew, right? That was a criminal element in that community. They were all vagrants. Did the police have to eliminate those vagrants? Did the police have to kill Raheem and all them, Tupac and all them, and Radamez and all them, the little gangs around there? They didn't have to. All they had to do was sit back and watch the emotionally unstable bishop descend into psychosis, and he killed everybody for them. They know how this shit works. You don't have to do anything. What did Tupac say in his song? Give them guns, sit back and watch them kill each other. So we still talk about, oh, the white man, genocide. White man ain't got to do nothing to you. Trust me, because all he got to do is sit back and wait for you to have the audacity to try to think that you can better your community, and the Pookies and Ray Rays will do his work for him. And they've been doing this since Malcolm and even prior to that. So I'm not sitting back, oh, the white man. No, I know who's coming for me. I know who's coming for you, Jughead. I know who's coming for you, Bandit. I know who's coming for you, Michelle. I'm more worried about the degenerate Pookie black man doing something to you than the police, anything the police ever gonna do to you. Because the police is at the point where they're not even doing their job because they're afraid to get fired.
Brandon, I concur on that point.
Bro, hey, if you come here,
I agree.
Jughead, if you come to America and watch the stuff that the police are just letting go by, they're literally, bro, they shot at my car in LA. I called the police. They was like, yeah, there's really nothing we could do about it. I knew exactly where the guys was. I knew exactly, because the next day I went and talked to the dudes, right? I knew exactly where the dudes was, all that stuff. The police met me. I was on 7-Eleven on Central and Manchester. I called the cops. They was like, hey, look, meet us at Central and Manchester. They didn't even come to the block. I met them. They were like, yeah, basically, this is not like our jurisdiction. This is the sheriff's. You could try to call them. They probably not going to come. Or it might be like 4, 5, 6 hours before they come. But yeah, we not going over there. We don't even deal with that. We more worried about everything that's going on the west side, because the west side is going crazy right now. Shooting at my car is attempted murder. That's what that is. So somebody attempted to murder me, right? Mistaken identity type situation. But someone attempted to murder me, and the police was like, whatever. And you want me to worry about the police? No, I'm worried about the nigga that pulled the trigger.
Well, thank God you survived. Thank God you survived. Thank the rich you survived. Number two, I was in San Diego years ago. I loved it. I was in De La Jolla, Del Mar on that holiday. But it's probably changed now. That was about 2003. It's probably changed now. But you know what? You live in LA, right? California. A Democrat run. Oh, there you go. Well, say no more. Trump will change that.
What I think, well, we can't make this about Trump. Our people don't like listening to Trump. That everyone's saying that's how I killed my channel, basically talking about Trump, because we're offended by anybody who wants to do something. But this guy is going to hold people accountable, because when you're receiving state federal funds to fight crime and stuff, and you're just being criminally negligent, in my opinion, when it comes to enforcing the law, yes, you deserve to be held accountable, and I think you deserve prison time. These people aren't even report, like when you call the cops and say like this happened to me or that happened to me, they're not even reporting this stuff so that they can artificially drive down the crime numbers in their city. That's why the Democrats keep saying, well, overall crime is down. Well, guess what? You guys aren't reporting the crime. On top of that, a lot of the cities around the country, these major cities, Democrat cities, run cities, they're not even submitting their crime reports to the government so that they can do the calculations and determine whether crime is down. They're just saying overwhelmingly, overall, crime is down, because they want you to believe what you're experiencing is just something that's isolated. It's not, man. Everybody is feeling the same effects. That's why Trump won so convincingly in November, because While the mainstream media and the liberals, they're telling us, oh, you just imagining this stuff. People are like, no, I'm not imagining this. I know somebody. Listen, bro, I never even thought about in my life my car getting broken into. Never, ever. Never, ever. Under Biden administration was the first time I ever had a car broken into. I'm talking about these, and you know who's doing it? Homeless people. They'll come through, bust out your window, take everything in the car. There's some people, not in my neighborhood, but if you go to San Francisco and stuff, they will leave their car windows down with nothing in the car because they said they would rather leave the car windows down than replace the windows once the homeless people bust out the windows to go ruffle through the car to see if they can get anything. It's out of control. And these homeless people aren't just homeless, they're criminals. And let me tell you something. Most homeless people, I don't think, are criminal minded. But when you create an environment where people know you're not going to enforce the law, you embolden even the most pussiest criminal or little geek to do stuff because he's like, nothing's going to happen. Same thing with the shoplifting. You can't be prosecuted unless you steal $1,000 worth of stuff. Well, now the coward who normally wouldn't steal anything because he's too scared, he's emboldened to steal because he's like, look, as long as I go in there and only get $500 worth of stuff, they're not going to bother me. Man, they don't even stop these people, bro. There's armed security down at the Pike in Long Beach watching dudes roll in, get a bag, fill it up with shoes, and walk out. My homie was downtown. He's a little crazy dude doing drugs and stuff. Dude was walking around downtown Long Beach with no shoes. I said, what up, bro? What's up, cuz? What's up? He said, nothing, cuz. I'm on my way to get me some shoes. I said, you about to buy some shoes? I was like, you need some bread? Like, I got you. We can go down and get the shoes there. He said, bro, hell no. We ain't paying for shit. I'm about to walk in here in the Nike outlet and just put some on and walk out. I do it like every other day. Then I sell the shoes and come back and do it again. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. It's open season out here, and people are tired of it. I'm tired of it because I'm paying for shoes. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying for these fresh, Nikes and shit that I just bought. You know what I'm saying? I paid for these. I paid like $100-something bucks. I'm gonna show you my shoes that I just got. I paid like $100-something bucks for these joints right here that I just bought. But you know what? Somebody could walk in the same store and pull these off the shelf for free, put them on their feet, and walk out, and no one's gonna do anything.
Hey,
So
Brandon,
guess what's
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask this, and I gotta go. But do you think under Trump that the black community will go through a true reformation? And if it's not under Trump, when do you think it will happen?
You said what? Say it again.
Will the black community ever go in America? Will the black community ever go through a true reformation under Trump? And if not, when do you think it will actually happen?
I think there's a possibility of a renaissance where black people who want to do better are going to do better, and they're going to like take a big leap forward collectively, just a group of a certain demographic of us, certain part of our society, but overwhelmingly no. Black people have been conditioned in America to believe that degeneracy and pookieism is a part of our culture. Literally, we are trained to think criminality is a part of who we are. So many black people in America feel like not being a degenerate goes against being black. Oh, you ain't real. You ain't down with the culture. They did, like, you hear that? Pookieism. They be like, oh, the culture. When they talk about that, it's criminality, lying, being hypocritical, being deceptive, being arbitrary.
So do you think it will, will it happen sometime in the future, even after Trump? Or will that be like until a very serious situation where our lives depended on it?
I think the Trump situation is a start, but I really think in 4 years, we're going to find out when Trump is no longer in office. I got a video coming out talking about how it's coming out on my other channel, Notorious BDT. It's going to talk about how social media is programming the creators, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you guys all the details. Go over there. It's coming out tomorrow if you guys want to watch it. But
I got a follow-up question, though.
Go ahead.
Based on that, do you think there's any black community around the world that's going through a great reformation? And if so, who and why?
Say that one more time. The first part.
Is, do you think there's a group of black people on the continent or in the diaspora that's going through a reformation? And if
Yes.
so, who and why?
I think the majority of people on the continent are going through like a reformation because the continent is now being opened up to people from all over the world to come do business and stuff. And in Africa, it's about money. They do what they got to do to get that coin, right? At the end of the day, if they got to stop being Pookie to make that dollar, they're going to do it. Pookie and Ray Ray are ostracized in African communities and cultures. Those people live on the fringes of society. Those people are not celebrated the way they're celebrated in America. You can walk around Nairobi, Kenya at 3:00 in the morning, drunk as hell, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. You're not gonna have to worry about getting held up because the people who would actually do that, they're like on the outskirts of the city, living in the slum damn near, and the police are rolling around with AK-47s. And if those dudes did try to do something to you, they have something called mob justice, where if the crowd don't kill you, you getting beat by that crowd, you praying for the police to come get you because they're gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have that in our community. Somebody listen.
Do you
if the
think
black,
that? I'm sorry.
let me
Go
say
ahead.
this. If the black community was like African communities, when someone killed someone in our community, the police wouldn't have time to come get them. We would be kicking in their door, dragging them out of the house, and basically executing them on the spot. I'll give you a prime example. If you ever saw the movie American Gangster, remember on American Gangster when that white cop killed that black dude because he was a junkie and he was trying to rob him and he accidentally killed him? And remember the cops, I think it was Russell Crowe, they was in the house and they couldn't go out the house because all them black people was standing outside ready to rip them apart because they knew something wasn't right going on in the house. And Russell Crowe had to pretend like the dude was still alive and roll him out under the sheet and put him in an ambulance and pretend like he was alive.
Yeah.
That would be the case when black dudes killed other black dudes. But instead, black people know who's doing the killing. They act like they don't know nothing. Oh, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing, you know, and we're permissive of it. So yeah, there's that what's understood in Africa doesn't need to be explained. They already do community policing. So they're already going under reformation. The only thing they need right now is access to new information, and they need the capital to invest in different things. But everybody in Africa is business minded. There's a woman right now, Melinda, I'm about to partner with her in a fish business to sell fish. You know, they're ready. They don't look at shit like us. Like the emotionalism is like something, but they're not hyper emotional like that. They're more like, dang, you know, life goes on. I got to feed my family. I need to do something that's going to make no money. And a lot of that is because there's no welfare system, no social safety net and stuff like that. Ain't nobody getting a food stamp card in Africa where they getting $1,000 worth of food stamps because they got 3 kids. No. If you don't work, your kids are going to be hungry or they're going to go beg in the street.
Okay. One more. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, one more, and I'm gonna stop asking because I just keep giving good answers, and it gets me like more follow-up questions. But based on that answer you gave, do you think those people who's going through those reformation now will somehow influence the black community here and basically save us from ourselves? If that's the best way you want to put it.
What I'm gonna tell you is this is one of the reasons why I will never go criticize the passport bros, because I think that change is going to happen the more black men move and go over to Africa and like start families, right? Those kids will be citizens of America. Obviously at some point they're going to want to come over here just to see what's up and stuff. And I think, you know, they might create this dynamic. Also in America, you have a lot of black Americans marrying like Nigerians and stuff. I think that will be a vehicle by which the African American community will be preserved, right? the mixing, the intermixing, because we need some culture, because we don't got none. We need to return to our culture, our original culture. And the way you do that is by intermixing, intermarrying, traveling, really developing like a sense of like brotherhood with those communities. It's not a coincidence these brothers go over there and they're over there 3 months talking about, man, I want to start a family over here. You know what I'm saying? This is something that we've been longing for a long time, but we've been criticized and ostracized for saying it out loud. Oh, what you want to go over there for? They dusty. They got huts over there and stuff like that. You're shamed for wanting to go back to your culture. There's a reason why that culture speaks to people. There's a reason why when people go to Africa, they feel like a healing effect. That is who you are deep down. And when you return to that, it's like you don't have to know. It's like in the Bible when it says the Spirit bears witness, right? It's like you got this big ass antenna on your head, and there's a certain signal that's emitted that only we can pick up. And when we get to Africa, that's when that signal is the strongest. So we feel like, damn, like you're at peace. Things are good. Like you got dudes who are in their 20s who should be out here partying and running through women left and right. They do that in other countries, and they get to Africa and they're like, yo, bro, I want to stay here. Yo, bro, I want to like start a family here. They start thinking like men. Why? Because if you put a seed in fertile soil, it's going to grow. And that's where the soil is fertile for us. Like once you get past the hypersex, like, dude, if you can go have sex with as many women as you want, okay, after you do that, you're going to, after so many women, you're going to start being like, man, I need to like settle down and have a family. I need to, when the women are like ready to marry you, when they're like not looking down at you, when they're not looking at you, oh, you broke ass nigga and stuff, that does something, that triggers something inside of a man that makes him want to start a family. I was telling my friend last night, she was at work, we was chopping it up. I was like, Black women in America, a lot of them are just unmarriable because they look down on the Black man, right? Because they think, oh, it's something better out there. There's something that's going to be better out there. After she told me how she broke up with her fiance because, oh, he don't do this and don't do that and don't do this. And I'm like, wait a minute, the dude you had a kid with, the dude you freaking was posting pictures, Christmas pictures, and you was with him for 7 years or 5 years or some shit. Now y'all, yeah, because I felt like I was settling. I said, oh, Lord, you 40-something talking about I'm settling. So, yeah, I think that it will happen. To answer your question, it will happen. It's just not going to happen in the way that any of us think. It's going to be like, it's going to happen the way most things happen. It's going to come out of nowhere for some of us. Those who are in these spaces, we get it. We know, we see it coming, but it's going to come out of nowhere. And it's going to happen in a way to where nobody in America is going to be able to claim authority over it. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to just either get with it, or they're just going to have to get left behind, because
I feel like they're going to get sidelined. People who aren't ready are going to get sidelined by it. And eventually those generations of people that do that are going to eventually fade into non-existence.
Obscurity at the minimum.
Obscurity. They're going to fight. I mean, I feel like they're going to fight it. But
I'll give you a prime example. We all got people we know that's on welfare and stuff, food stamps, generational welfare, don't want to do shit with themselves. You don't think about those people on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
If you happen to see them, if you happen to enter in the spaces that they occupy, oh, what up, homie? It's all good. But you ain't like, oh, what is whoop-de-whoop doing? You're like, I know them, but I don't fuck with them on a daily basis. They just fade out of, you don't recall them to mind, right? You won't even remember, you don't even remember them once you get on. I don't know if my boy John Doe is still in here or my boy JP from the LB is still in here, but bro was just with me in Kenya. Bro, first time on the continent. Bro could tell you how bomb it is in Kenya. Like, shit's tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking like the bro went, he was hanging out in one part of Kenya. Bro hit me up at like 12 at night. Like, bro, I'm headed back to, the area where we were staying. I'm like, fuck it. Just meet me downtown. Let's go get some food. We had a freaking 24-hour, 5-star restaurant in there, just chopping it up, having a good time, eating some good food, some lamb chops and some more shit. Like, you can do that in Africa. You could walk the streets of CBD. No one's going to rob you at like 3 in the morning, you're good. And it's just what people, I mean, I could think of many YouTubers, Check in Effect, Coop's Corner, you know what I'm saying? Austin Holloman, all them other little dudes. They every time, dude, we was in the airport. I'm giving y'all story time now. Hey, contribute to the channel, man. I'm giving y'all story time right now. We were in the airport in where was we at? What country was we in? What country was that? I wish this dude John Doe was still here. What country was that we landed in first? Turkey. We was in the airport in Turkey. We literally ran into a random dude from Texas. Bro was like African. He sounded like he had an African accent, but he said he was from Texas, born and raised. Bro was like, I know you in the airport. I'm like, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, you Pan-Africanism strike back, huh? I was like, yeah, that's me. Bro was like, bro, where you going right now? I was like, I'm on my way to Kenya. Me and the homies, right? He like, man, I'm on my way to Kenya right now too. We on the same flight. We exchanged numbers and shit. And I'm just like, what you about to do? He like, man, you know, I'm a viewer. I'll watch like Austin Holloman. I was like, you know Austin? He like, nah, I don't know him. But he just inspired me to like just take this trip out to Kenya. And we just chopped up for a little minute. And like, you know, me and bro was communicating back and forth while I was in Kenya. And bro was like, I'm like, where are you going? You going to the city? He's like, nah, I want to go like to the more like little like countryside, the like not rural, but like a little bit on the outskirts. And bro was just like, I'm just about to be here. I'm about to just see what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of brothers that don't know what to do. You know, they don't know what to do with themselves. And a lot of brothers, this internet is empowering a lot of brothers to take risks and take chances and to go travel and go see things. And those brothers is going to bring back what they're learning and what they're experiencing. And that's going to have a very transformative effect, you know, on our community. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that, but it is, because when you travel, you bring back the value that you gain, that you gain. We just got to keep doing it, keep encouraging people, get out the country, go see new things. You know what I'm saying? You can get a ticket right now to Kenya to leave in January, $900 right now. Start planning your trip.
Brandon, can I ask you a question, please?
Thank
Yes,
you, bro.
Thank you, Bandit.
All right. See you guys later.
Good evening. Thank you. Good questions.
Take care.
Brandon, quick question, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
You know, K&K Squad, it was alleged that she was robbed and had to delete a person. Can you do a story on that situation?
I'm actually that's actually coming tomorrow.
On which channel?
I was going to do that. I was actually going to do that. I literally was going to do that today. But then I remembered the Daniel Penny situation, and I remember that I wanted to comment, make a video on that. The K&K situation is coming tomorrow for sure, because I got some stuff that I want to compare and contrast that to. I got some stuff I want to compare and contrast that to like, I'm not gonna give it away, but just know the K&K squad situation. It's look, I'm literally about to make the thumbnail. See that in my phone? Y'all could see her big butt. But yeah, I'm literally about to make the thumbnail for that. So I was already on it. So you're right in line with what I'm about to do. This is going to be on the thumbnail, so y'all getting a little preview.
Yeah, because the questions he was asking made me remember that situation. I was like, Brandon didn't cover this.
Oh yeah, they're just degenerates. They're just degenerates. But ultimately, it's good. You know what I'm saying? That they're doing what they're doing, because they think they're making a joke of Africa. They think they're winning, but they're really educating people. They're making people realize, if you're this type of person, don't come to Africa. You know what I'm saying? The fools are going to be scared. And it's good that we let K&K Squad scare them, because I'm telling you, Negroes can't ruin Africa. They can't. You can try, but you probably ain't going to make it out intact. You know what I'm saying? Because those people are very protective over their societies, because they've been through a lot. their communities because they've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do nothing worse than the Nigerians is doing in all these African countries. And they get them under control real quick. So, you know, Black Americans, we're not built like Nigerians. Like, Nigerians will go hard in the paint wherever they go. They'll take a chance. We for the most part, are scary as far as like degenerate activity and criminality, right? So, yeah, you see them AK-47s and shit, you're going to tighten up quick. What up, Odenani?
Yo, it's been a while, Brandon. You good?
I'm great.
Yeah, it's been a while. By the way, your setup looks really, really good. Your camera looks very, very clear. I guess a lot of things has changed since the last time I was here. Like, damn, everything looks, your sound, everything is on point, man. Like, even way better than before. Like, it's not like it was crazy bad before, but like everything just looks new and improved.
We trying to tighten up a little bit.
Man, you invested in the business, I see.
Man, you know when you got a friend who lets you use a camera and you never give it back, you gotta use it. The Cambodian homie was like, "You can use this." He's like, "Where the camera?" And I'm like, "Oh man, I'm in Africa. When I get back, I'll give it to you."
Oh, you're still in Kenya now?
No, I'm in America, but I be telling him I'm in Africa.
Well, yeah, like you said just now, like, yeah, there's so much that, you know, Africans, like, we will put up with. Like, we don't put up with shit with each other. Like you said, Nigerians will push the pains a bit sometimes, and other Africans would nip that shit in the bud immediately it starts, because they're like that, you know, that's why you see us sometimes we get beat up and things like that, because yeah, some Africans don't play, man. Some of the Africans in the other side, man, they don't play that shit. I mean, you know, there's the whole complaint about South Africans being xenophobic and stuff like that to Nigerians, but Nigerians they pushing the limit sometimes, man. You know.
I gotta tell you a quick story. This recent trip I was in Kenya. So I was standing at this one spot when I first touched down, and it was in Westlands. This spot called the Escada, nice apartment, like Airbnbs and stuff. Bro, I'm asleep. I get woke up in the middle of the night. These people in the hallway being loud as hell. So I open the door. It's a Nigerian dude, bro. Got like 5 Kenyan chicks. Going up in the apartment across from me, right? They up all night keeping the nigga up. Da-da-da. So the homie hit me up like, bro, what's popping? So the next day, the homie hit me up like, what's popping? I'm coming. I'm gonna come up to, you know, your room or whatever. Like, what is there to do? So I'm like, bro, I'm in the house. You know what I'm saying? I've been there a million times. I'm not really trying to like hit no EBs or no shit like that. You know, I ain't trying to blow my bread like that. They trying to, you know, they trying to have a good time because it's first time. So I'm like, man, I don't really know what's popping right now. I said, you know who I bet know? This loud ass Nigerian nigga who's across the hallway. Bro, I went and bammed on that nigga door like the police. That nigga was scared as hell.
Open up.
I bammed on it again. He opened the door, bro, in some leopard colored drawers, bro. The females all behind him. What's going on? He's like, what's up, bro? I'm like, bro, the homies want to go out tonight. You came in here 3 o'clock in the morning, waking me up and shit. Where's the spots y'all hanging out at so they could go hang out there? He was like, man, I thought you was the police. I was like, bro, this is Kenya. The police ain't coming to your damn door. But like, you could do shit like that in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kept me up. You gonna give us some information that we need. Bro was just laughing, like, bro, he was like, my bad, man. I said, it's cool. Just let us know, like, where they could go hang out at and shit. And he was cool. He was like, yeah, just go here and here. Cool, whatever. He was like, bro, y'all can come over here and hang with us and shit. I mean, bro had 5 chicks in that apartment. Dang. I was like, damn, dude. I'm like, I'm going to pass on that. You know what I'm saying? On your sloppy seconds. But, you know, thank you for the kindness. You know what I'm saying? So most people are cool, bro. You don't really got to be like, you know, it's
what
cool.
What type of work is he doing to have 5 women up in there like that?
Bro, listen, they getting that money. That's all I can say. They get into that money, bro.
Yeah, that boy is a scammer, man. That boy is a 419.
All I know is bro had some leopard draws on. I said, bro, gotta be on something.
Man, for sure. Man, that boy is for sure 419, man. Don't play.
That dude, hey, I said, bro, more power to him. You know what I'm saying? Nigerians play hard, bro. For real. You think you ready? Go over there and hang out with them. You're gonna know the truth. But I've always gotten love from Nigeria. Even when I was in South Africa, Yeomanville. lost as a motherfucker looking for Western Union. The gangsters helped me. They walked me all the way to, you know where you at right now? I was like, well, I thought there was Western Union over. Taxi driver dropped my ass off and sped off. Like, we don't even drop people off
Damn.
here. They walked me and made sure I got a cab up out here and stuff. So I can't really knock Nigerians. They didn't look out for me, you know. But yeah, just don't answer the phone for no Nigerian princes.
Now, but you know, these days, man, it's not like that. It's not like back in the days, man. You know, in the early, I'm saying in the 2000s, you know, Nigerians were smart enough in terms of that 419, man. Man, these days, them white people are like, "Fuck you, man." I saw this one video of this MAGA guy going, "Hey, I know you are Nigerian, therefore fuck you."
Yeah, right. Exactly.
This white redneck, man, they're like, "Hey, we don't fall for that shit no more, man. We know all these, the tricks you guys do, man. Like, get the fuck out of here, man." It's the
Nah.
Indians this day, man. God damn.
Yeah, the Indians enjoyed on it because you know the Indians got it because the white people hired them to run all the call centers and stuff. So now when people hear their voice, they like, oh, this must be somebody working for a company. So they'll believe whatever, you know, it works like that. But you know, like the Nigerians now, they rather just go around Africa making sweet love to the women and have the women all sprung on them and then the women giving them money and shit. That's what they do. They'll go, they have 5-10 girlfriends, all of the girls piecing up on them, giving them $100-something, $200 a month. And them dudes is, you know, they doing it like that, but it's all good. Watch out for those Fresh Princes of Moomba scams. Yeah, Odenani, but what's been up with you, my brother?
Man, it's been work, man. Been work for sure, man. Like that's just it, man. Like today was the first day I actually had like a decent day off. Actually was playing darts earlier before I came back home. And then when I came, I literally left there quite early to complete like a task that arose on my end. So I came back home, finished that. I said I should just settle down, have some food. But then I saw that you were streaming, and I said I should come up. It's been a long time,
It's been a
man.
while.
It's been so long, man. So far now, you're getting a new administration. Oh my gosh.
Hey, people, hey, listen, my Trump cover. You know, now I'll have like 50 people watching on YouTube, but then I have like 100, 200 people watching on X now.
Wow.
Because I stream this to X at the same time as YouTube. So like I pretty much alienated my whole audience on YouTube, but the audience on X picked up. I have like this random X account that I don't tell anyone about. And like all I do is stream live to that account when I stream here, and it's picking up a lot of viewers, man.
Yeah, that's what's
Shout
up,
out to all
man.
my people watching on X. I don't think the comments come through over here, but shout out to all my people watching on X. I do see y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all showing major love. And people are like, why is he doing it? No one's watching. People, no one's watching. I'm like, no, people are watching me. Like, y'all just don't see him because y'all on YouTube side.
I think I
You're
saw
not gonna
like
go
a
to Blue
community
Sky.
note.
You're not gonna go to Blue Sky, Brandon.
Blue Sky. I should go over there.
Which one is Blue Sky? There's a new one called Blue Sky now.
The liberals started a social media platform after Trump won.
I guess it's because of the fact that Elon Musk is in his shit and blah 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 blah. They'll be looking for a way to cope, I guess. Oh, I'm not gonna use Twitter no more.
They want to get rid of they want to get off Twitter. They'll be back. They'll be back.
Of course, it's the probably one of the biggest ones.
Well, I heard that the damn like rules are so restrictive. Literally, like people, even liberals, are like, man, I can't do this. Like, you can't say anything, you can't use certain words. It's just dumb. It's like, but some people want to live in that situation because they think the government is gonna make everything cater to their sensitivities. And I look at it like, who would even want that? But yeah, so we also Odenani, I got the other channel, Notorious BDT. That channel.
Oh, really? Let me search you up now.
Yeah, it's launching tomorrow. I got a video already ready, launching that tomorrow. But I'm gonna be posting more like mainstream stuff over there. I'm gonna keep this channel, the Pan-African channel, talking about Africa and stuff like that. The K Squad video is gonna be over here tomorrow, right? Daniel Penny, that's Pan-Africanism because he killed a black dude, and we got to know how to approach that collective as black folks, how to process that, and just show people the way they should be thinking on these type of situations. Like, you don't have to look at it from our perspective, but you should, inform yourself to the perspectives of other black people, because we a lot of times think well, I'm black and I think this way. All black people must feel this way about this. And a lot of times that's just not the case.
Brother, may I come in, please?
Go ahead, brother.
Thank you. I'll keep it short because I have to go now. Oh, by the way, Adani, the great welcome, brother, to the
Yeah,
broadcast.
thank you, Jughead. Nice.
Regarding the Daniel Penny case, this is what I have to say. So, my FBI family in America, please arm yourself, defend yourselves. If you're not training self-defense, fitness, or armed, you're a fool. Live in America and the UK as a black person, not being able to defend yourself. It's like a scuba diver. Cover the swims in pig's blood and diving into a water tank full of sharks. They're predators like Daniel Penny and Jules Zimmer stalking you, ready to kill you. You have to be able to defend yourselves and don't feel ashamed about doing so. Because please, I'm going to do it for you. That's number one. Number two, to answer brother's point before that left, I forgot his name. The guy that left asked a question about black people's reformations. The what's happening in Africa is great. In the Burkina Faso, Chad, Niger, we've got great leaders now. If that's the beginning of what's happening, Brandon. Good things happen in Africa. If Nigeria ever gets good leaders like Traore, we're fantastic. Nigeria's a mess because of corruption. If Nigeria gets leaders like Traore, of the guy from Burkina Faso, Nigeria will be superpower in 20 years. We need Traores all over Africa. Africa's rising. So to answer brother's point before, Africa is the future. Africa and BRICS are the future. So we are getting there, Brandon. Trust me. What's happened before now is the end of their demise. I mean, we're coming out to a point now where Africa's have a great renaissance. It starts with Burkina Faso, Chad, and Niger. That's the beginning. And Odinani, Michelle, Sister Brandon, love, respect. I'm gone.
And shout out to you,
Peace.
Jughead.
Thank
Have a good night,
you.
brother.
Happy
Sleep well.
holidays.
It's quite late, so sleep well, brother.
All right. Hey, thank you, my brother. I
Happy
appreciate it.
holidays.
Hey, all right, guys.
Brandon,
Any last thoughts?
I'm about to check out too.
All right, I'll see you later, my sister. Odinani,
So I'm gonna expect the K&K thing tomorrow. What time?
yeah, it's coming. I don't know exactly what time.
Oh,
But
okay
it'll
then.
be
All right,
what time you on the East Coast, right?
Yes.
What time is the
I'm in
best
the
time
DC
for
area.
you? I'll do it when it's the best time for you.
Nighttime.
Nighttime.
Sometimes you don't do the daytime. I'll be like sneaking working and
Oh, you be trying to check for it at work? Like, let me hear this shit.
yeah. Then you went dark or something. I don't know what was going on. I think you were in Kenya at the time.
I've been sporadic, but I need to just get at a straight time. Somebody was like, "Man, I'll be trying to watch you, but you be doing it at random times." I'm like, "Oh, God."
That's true. I remember there was a time when I used to look forward to your daytime stuff, because obviously, like, when you're doing your daytime stuff, it's like probably close to evening in my end. So I'm starting work, and like for that first hour or so of when you're doing your daytime show, it just helps me get like through the first hour of work before like everything goes to hell. So I remember there are times when I've joined in from work and that's when my sound used to be bad, and you always used to fucking roast
This
me,
dude
man.
have the dollar store headphones. Like, for real, Jesus. But you know what? I'm leading by example, man. I got my sound together. It's all good. We good.
Like everybody,
And you
one thing
pookied
he
it
said,
up, you pookied up and borrowed somebody's camera and not give it back. You pookied up.
Pookied up. Bought
yo,
me
it
a
took you over,
microphone.
man.
I bought this microphone. No, I own this microphone. Stop hating.
Mm-hmm.
I bought this microphone on Amazon for $70, and it sounds amazing.
Yo, it sounds really good,
So
man.
what you
Man,
doing
when I
with the
came on YouTube and I
donations?
saw you,
What you doing with the donations?
Dude, trying to reinvest in the channel,
Pastor
man.
Brandon.
Nah, you know
Pastor
what?
Brandon.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna be honest. So, I got, I've been getting denied for my to try to remonetize, right? So I didn't understand what was going on. So with the donation money, I've actually hired somebody who like is an expert in like YouTube ads and like optimization, and like basically they have AI software where they can like go through your account and they can find out like basically what YouTube is, the reason why YouTube is trying to like reject you or whatever. So like
Oh wow, that's interesting.
this guy knows people like on the inside of that and stuff. So recently I invest a little money in that. So he said he can, help me get my channel back remonetized and basically find out, because he said it's looking like maybe somebody is like reporting my content, or like it could even be a glitch in the AI. I mean, you know, you got channels that are like talking about like tools and stuff, and they'll just be rejected for monetization because, you know, there's like a glitch in the AI where one thing they're saying is being flagged as harmful, right? And it's like the AI doesn't even understand, you know, what they actually mean, right? Like you could be like, man, who knows? Oh, this is a nail gun or something. Now you're rejected for harmful content because the AI detected the word gun in your video, right? But you're talking about building houses or something.
Yeah.
So you can use these people, and they it's basically kind of like a I don't know what it would even be called, but they basically understand the technological side of it, how the AI is working and stuff, and they could bring you. Actually, the reporters come tomorrow, but they'll give you a report. This is what's going on. This is what you need to like get rid of. This is what you need to start doing in the future to protect yourself. A lot of the bigger channels do this kind of stuff, and they're gonna just help me optimize this channel to reach my target audience a bit better. So if
All
you guys see
right.
some big
Okay. Good
subscriptions,
investment plan.
if you see my subscriptions going up, you see me on some ads, just know that that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm surprised
So,
that
but then,
they
are you gonna
still
get on
haven't given
Patreon and
you.
gonna do like a Pan African drive for a fundraiser, harvest season? You know,
Dude, hey, listen, if y'all want to contribute, Cash App is pinned to the top of the chat. That's all I can do at this point.
Yeah, for sure, man.
oh, did you check your Cash App?
Oh, thank you.
I'm
Hey,
catching up on
Michelle.
my tithe.
Oh, yeah, Michelle. Thank you
Catching up
for
on my tithe.
Thank you for the 10%. You know what I'm saying? The $10 holler in the Cash App. I appreciate you, my sister, as always. Shout out to my boy JP from the LB. Thank you for the $5 holler. I appreciate you, my brother. He always come through first things first. And shout out and thank you to anybody who contributes going forward, you know, before the show ends. But yeah, so guys, we in the building. This is good. This was a great show, a nice little Sunday show, getting it done. To all 38 people on Pan-Africanism Strikes Back, to all my 50 people on my Facebook watching, and to all my 100 people on my X account watching. So we got about
So
almost
you
200.
got 200 people. That's good. I think you're doing great.
Everybody
Used
needs
to
to
be.
give me
I mean, you came along. I've been with you for almost 3 years since I broke up with Tariq.
Tariq. And now
Oh,
I'm
you
down
used to
and
be
out.
a Tariq follower, eh, Michelle?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tariq is
fair
booming.
enough.
Tariq is booming, and I'm down and out.
Hey, but by the way, what are they saying? What are they saying? I thought they said you said on well, the last time I really spoke to you was probably around August or so, towards the end of the summer. That was the last time I really joined the show, and I thought you said like in 3 months or so they were going to do a review or something like that. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but
No, you're remembering right. So first they hit me for reused content, right? So I was streaming to 2 YouTube channels at once.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So you can't do that, I guess, apparently, right? And then 3 months passed, and I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm not doing that. I deleted all the videos on that other channel. I was like, I'm gravy. But when I tried to remonetize, they hit me with like a harmful content. Like, no,
Jesus, man.
you're doing harmful content. And I'm looking
Harmful
at what
content. How?
man. I talk to everybody. O'Shea, I talk to everybody. They're like, you're not saying nothing harmful. But
What the hell?
it's so that's why the dude who I'm dealing with, he's like, man, it's probably somebody flagging you, like a group of people like flagging you or something. And I'm like, possibly, but he's like, we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Basically, he's just, you know, doing a deep dive using AI to kind of like see if he can find like what it is they're flagging me on, because the same AI technology that YouTube is using, everyone else is doing it. You know, everyone technically has access to it, right?
Yeah.
So you can run the same videos through the AI or run the AI through the same videos, and it'll pick up all the, oh, this is harmful content, because all this shit is AI. They want you to believe there's humans doing this. This is just
Since the invention of that, we already knew that a lot of things were going to be relegated to AI now, man. Like that's what's been. And the whole complaint in the UK now is about the fact that a lot of tech jobs are just going to to AI, man. Like everyone thought they were going to be safe, man. Hey, the only people that are safe right now are those that are blue collar workers, man. You're talking about your construction workers, and those boys. Those are the boys that are hard to replace now. But if you thought you were going to be in tech and you're going to make a fuck ton of money there, nope. Right now, all of these things are being done. It's made things easier. It saves time for them, and you know how it is in business. Each time they want to maximize it to make as much money as they can with little amounts of effort. Rather than you focusing on the human factor. Hey, you create a system that can detect what you want to do, so you can call your workforce. That's you saving that's you saving money according to them. So that's how it
Hey
is,
man,
man.
even these content creators, look, content creators aren't safe because they got AI now that can host a show, and you barely would even know that it was AI. They
Man,
literally
that's
humans.
insane, man.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what humans want to do. This is what we love to do. We love to drive ourselves out of the market.
Yep.
Like there's gonna have to be something happening. So there's gonna have to be somebody who puts a stop to it. Like, look, if we gotta artificially stimulate our economy or jerry rig our economy to keep AI out, let it happen.
Yeah, because what's going to happen? You put more people get redundant, and more people get out of the workforce, and then you're getting more people claiming quote unquote, we'll call it benefits here in the UK. People getting welfare and stuff like that. What do you think is going to happen to the economy when people are not able to operate because you're kicking them out of the workforce? It's not like this people can work. It's just they're replaceable to you with machines. So hey, they're going to claim the benefits, man, and they're not going to feel bad about it. So, I mean, we're doing one thing. Businesses are saying they are making a ton of profit by quote unquote going this route. But in terms of looking at it from a macro perspective, it's going to really affect us going forward. I mean, it will aid. I mean, ChatGPT helps me here and there when I want to get some things done quickly, but over reliance on that, man, would make someone become obsolete somewhat. I would say from my side at least. But
Right.
see how it is.
It's killing. It's watering down your ability to do the work on your own.
Yeah, you have kids now, man. You can't even you have people who just rely on ChatGPT to write an essay for them. You have developers that they'll just ChatGPT create this code for me. What? Come on, son. Like what are we talking about?
Crazy, man, crazy. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's all driven by information that's on the internet and stuff. So it's not really there's no personal touch to it. But
Yeah.
people nowadays are so damn ridiculous. They don't care. They just want to get the information, and use it for whatever they need to use it for. But it's gonna be interesting, man. It's a brave new world, man. We're gonna have to see how we're gonna fit
I'm
in.
reading that. I'm reading that book right now. By the way,
Oh,
I'm
it's a
reading
great book.
that. Man, that book is crazy. I
It's
thought
crazy.
1984 was crazy. Man, I'm in like the third chapter, and I'm like, oh my god.
Brave New World goes a little deeper than 1984. There's way more
The fact that they're
nuance.
breaking down the process of them utilizing what, like, I don't know if I'll call it eugenics or genetic engineering. Yes, genetic engineering. The fact, man, the betas, the epsilon. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's that book is deep. Like I read that and I listened to the audio book and I want to read it again because you're like you miss things. The first time you read it, you're gonna miss things because it's so much information. Being like the way they paint the picture, in the book.
Yeah.
You got to read it twice so you can really like, damn, they really was tripping. Like they were really going in
Man,
for genetic
the one
engineering and shit.
the one thing that scared me in that scared me in that book that I'm seeing in this award is the whole thing when you saw how they reduced sex to nothing.
Yeah.
They just said, yeah, it's just it's not at all. Can you imagine people used to have sex for procreation? Oh my god, this is disgusting. Like, bro, like,
But
I just slept with him. It was like nothing. Oh, I can't have her anymore. Wow. I'm like, oh my god, there's no man. There's like a disregard.
the thing is, they're hatching people damn near like eggs, man. Just a bunch of
Man.
babies in a room. You know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing is, I look at like the incels these days, right? Men
Yeah.
who like reject women and we don't need women. We hate women. it's like you see how shit could go that way. Once they can make the gender start hating each other to the point where they don't even want to procreate. Like, who doesn't like having sex, bro? If they can
Come
make
on, man.
you get to the point where you don't want to have sex, they got you. They got your mind for real.
With the incels thing, especially, you can see how it is with porn. You see a lot of these incels, and you have these guys. They stay at home. They have their own word for themselves that they say. I guess the one I've seen is like Kumas or whatever. And you see these guys. They talk about watching animated porn, and they fry their brain so much that like a woman can't even be that attracted. They can't be attracted to a woman that much anymore because they've either gone online. They watch something animated, and it fucks up the chemistry of their brain, that when they see women in life, they're like, oh, they hate women first of all because they think, oh, we can't have access to them. So the one place that we do have somewhat of a control is the porn we watch, which, I mean, you don't, but hey, there's an availability of it for them. So rather they would just masturbate in the house, and hey, that one leads to his own form of laziness in a way where you don't have energy to do anything else. Because when you're in the house just choking your chicken 7 times a day, man, you're seeing these guys. How disappointing it is as a man that all you do is just sit down in the house in darkness and play with yourself. My God, go outside, go and fail talking to women or something. If you feel, oh, I'm involuntarily celibate, and go outside, man, and try. Hey, you fail. Maybe you're an ugly motherfucker. Hey, game is game, bro. And a man could always improve the way he talks to ladies and things like that. Yeah, you get maybe rejected 100 times, and rejection is never nice. Well, it's better than staying home.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. I literally was just thinking about. Now you got me thinking about the book Brave New World. That shit is
Man,
crazy.
nah,
It reminds you of
nah.
people. It reminds you of people these days, like when they program the deltas to make them like not like certain things, and this makes them like
Man,
better
Brandon.
consumers.
Oh
Like
my
that
God.
shit is wild. Like you think about people nowadays, like, but I got a video coming out on another channel about how people are programmed, how they're literally programming the content creators on social media.
Yep.
And we in turn are programming the people for them.
Yeah,
We're
remember, we all have everyone has that parasocial relationship with the channel that they watch. Like especially if you have someone like yourself, if you have other channels that have a platform like this where people can come on and talk, in the minds of humans, oh, who I'm talking to, I have somewhat of a relationship with them. You don't know this person,
right.
and this person then informs someone, and they prime your thinking as well going forward. So, hey, they're reporting to somebody. What are we talking about here? That's how it is, man. It's a knock-on effect.
Man, it's yeah. Like people don't realize that when you watch people on channels like this, you're kind of giving your mind over to that person. That's why I was so kind of upset with the situation with Afro Think Tank. That guy just turned into a total propagandist grifter. He's like gone. Like I'm like, dude, like he totally switched. He used to be kind of like a pro-African dude, and generally it seemed like he had people's best interests heart. Now he's like, I mean, he reminds me of Tariq, just like fear-mongering his audience over stupid stuff that doesn't even mean anything. And like, yeah, you better watch out because white people. And I'm just like, dude, are you serious right now? You scared? You so scared of white people, but you get on a plane to Africa every 4 months with a white pilot, a
I've
bunch
never
of
been
white
to
people.
that guy's channel ever. So every information that I've gotten about Afro TikTok has been directly from this channel, because I just know I couldn't, man. Like
His channel,
um,
his channel is blowing up because he's talking to those people who like want that like constant fear mongering. They want to feel like they're special because they pretend to hate white people on the internet. Shit like that.
if I remember correctly, he was a very heavy Biden supporter. Did he then start supporting Kamala when she took over from Biden?
Immediately. He didn't even miss a beat, bro. He didn't even miss a beat. He was talking Biden. As soon as they were like Kamala, I was like, she's a black woman. You got to support her. I was like, bro.
Oh wow! I guess
You're
he
wild,
must
dude.
have felt really bad, and he must have cussed people out, like most of my brethren in the USA have been doing, man. Man, I saw this thing with Jennifer Love, not Jennifer Love Hewitt, Jennifer Hewitt, the actress, man. Her commenting on black men. The job, and man, I'm like, what does this woman think she is, man? Like, is she talking to her sons or something? Like, what kind? Is there no respect for the men, for black men in America, where you have fucking random? Yeah, she's an elder, but man, stop. These men are not your children for you to be talking to or commanding them. Hey, shut, please keep quiet, lady. Let me not be too rude, but please.
Man, hey, but I'm gonna get out of here, man. It was good
Yeah,
talking to you.
cheers,
It's
brother.
been a while.
Yeah, nice. It's been a while, man. I'll be on
I'll
your
do
next
some more
one,
in this
brother.
show
So
so you can catch me. All right,
for
man.
sure,
Have a
brother.
good one.
Yeah,
Hey,
have a
you
good
guys.
night.
Hey, thank all of you for watching this. I appreciate everything you do. Hope you got some value out of this show, out of this content. Definitely trying to just, make sure I'm more consistent and make sure I'm giving you guys something that you can enjoy, whether you're at work, home, chilling on a Sunday night. Hey, we're here with you. Till the next time, take care of yourself. But most importantly, take care of each other. Peace.